Today is the extraordinary beginning of a new era. My name is Jared, and here we are in another challenge. And so the previous challenge was getting every single flag in the entire world right in a Sporkle quiz, and so this time, for the first time in my life, I'm going to attempt a Don't Laugh challenge. But it's not just any Don't Laugh challenge. And so allow me to tell you a little bit about the wise men of Chelm. And so also, the introduction counts as the don't laugh thing. And so, as a result, I really hope that I can manage to read all of these stories without laughing once. Okay, so, meanwhile, back in Chelm. So, Chelm is actually a real place. It's a town in Poland, not too far away from what is now the Ukrainian border. And it was actually a town of fools. And so, the Jews of Chelm actually tell this, well, how do I put it? There were stories about them that were told that effectively were equivalents of stupid jokes. However, scholars have revealed that actually they were based on German language folk tales that obviously were not very Jewish in origin, but obviously they were adopted by Jewish audiences. And so Chelm, this town in Poland, for some unknown reason, managed to have actually become the setting for a lot of these stupid stories. And a lot of Ashkenazi Jews that I've known across various religiosity lines and across geographical lines and also national lines as well are very well aware of the Chelm stories. And so let's go ahead and welcome ourselves to the village of Chelm without laughing. Okay, an introductory tidbit. In Chelm, the wisest thing you ever heard was spoken by the last person who spoke. In Chelm, the most foolish person you ever heard was spoken by the last person who spoke. Therefore, the next Chelmer to speak will always have something wiser and more foolish to say. Yet, there is no contest, since everyone in Chelm believes that everyone in Chelm is wise. The foolish truth makes the village of Chelm possible. Herein, I have collected for you some of the better-known short stories of Chelm. Okay, now it's going to start to get hard. Okay. Rolling Stones. To build a new synagogue, Chelm needed stones for the foundation. 10 strong Chelmers were sent to the top of the mountain to bring down stones. They loaded the stones in slings, put slings across their shoulders, and trudged down the mountain to the valley below. A passerby from Tishevitz saw this and berated the Chelmers. Fools, this is a mountain. You could just roll the stones down from the top and save yourself so much effort. The Chelmers discussed this advice and agreed the passerby was correct. No, you can't do this to me. They carried the stones back up the mountain, and this time they rolled down. I lost. D minus. Alright. So much for that. Alright, so much for that. Okay. I'll try this again. Let's do it without laughing. To build a new synagogue, Chelm needed stones for the foundation. 10 strong Chelmers were sent to the top of the mountain to bring down stones. They loaded the stones in slings, put the slings across their shoulders. I keep on making that mistake. Yeah, it was probably, I think my mom also used to make that mistake as well. And trudged down the mountain to the valley below. A passerby from Tishevitz saw this and berated the Chelmers. Fools, this is a mountain. You could just roll the stones down from the top and save yourself so much effort. The Chelmers discussed this advice and agreed the passerby was correct. They carried the stones back up the mountain, and this time they rolled them down. Okay, that was a little Okay. Buttering the bread. Okay. Tzeitel, the wife of Berel the butcher, buttered a piece of bread and accidentally dropped it. Berel and Tzeitel were amazed. The slice of bread landed on the floor butter side up. Now, it is a well-known fact among Chelmers that when a slice of buttered bread falls to the floor, it always falls buttered side down. This is like a commandment, a law etched in stone. So why has it fallen butter side up? The issue was referred to the council of the elders in Chelm. They discussed it for 7 days and 7 nights, the traditional amount of discussion without which no decision in Chelm could ever be rendered. The decision was delivered by the mayor, who called upon Tzeitel and informed her, "My dear Tzeitel, the entire council of Chelm agrees that a slice of buttered bread always falls buttered side down. Therefore, it is declared that you buttered your slice of bread on the wrong side." Okay, so far, well, I already failed with the Rolling Stones story. Okay. And now, the wise folk of Chelm. Is there a future for Chelm stories? As the rabbi of Chelm observed, we can expect the future any day now. Of course, it all depends on us. For example, I was hard to learn that research is ongoing. Okay, fine. That seems to be an ad. Okay. The rain wall. One rainy season, the downpours threatened never to end. The roads became impassable. Puddles became miniature lakes. The rivers of mud flowed down the mountain. The town council was concerned. Chelmers could not shop. Children had to be carried from place to place, and even visiting the necessary presented an existential danger. 7 days and 7 nights of discussion and debate resulted in the rain wall plan. The elders agreed to empty the town treasury to build a 6-foot wall around the entire village of Chelm to keep the rain out. Despite the terrible conditions in which the workmen struggled, the wall was duly erected. Unfortunately, the rain would not cooperate. It continued to fall even inside the rain wall. The elders met again. Their plight was dire. They had plenty of rain and no more money in the town treasury. Uh-oh. After 7 days and 7 nights of additional discussion, it was decided to switch the meaning of the words. In this way, the town of Chelm suddenly had very much money and no more rain. Okay, this is good. Alright, reduced to begging. Yossel the beggar was having a very difficult winter. Snow and hail kept the Chelmers from walking in the town square, where Yossel usually accosted them in his professional capacity. Finally, Yossel the beggar swallowed his pride and decided to beg door to door. In this wise, he arrived at the door of the widow Tzippi, where he asked and begged for food. The kind widow asked, "Would you like some cold chicken soup?" "Chicken soup," Yossel replied, licking his lips. "Even cold chicken soup sounds wonderful." "Return in an hour," said the widow Tzippi. "Right now the soup is hot, but in an hour it should be cold." Okay. Yeah, you managed to put the hardest one at the beginning. I would have been winning by now. Or would I? I'll leave that question to a scientist. Okay, footsteps. The Shamish, synagogue attendant of Chelm, knocked on doors at sunrise to call to the folks to the synagogue for morning prayers. Whenever it snowed, Chelmers complained that it was impossible to enjoy the natural beauty of the snowfall because by the time they awakened, the Shamish had ruined the vista with his crisscrossing footfalls. Okay, this I know from Uriel Weinreith's college Yiddish book that I use in my Yiddish classes. They complained to the elders who met for 7 days and 7 nights to discuss. No, it was not that book. It was not college Yiddish. That book also has Chelm stories. It was the colloquial Yiddish book from Routledge. Okay, they complained to the elders who met for 7 days and 7 nights to discuss how the Shamish could wake up the town on a snowy morning without spoiling the pristine snow. In the end, the elders devised a solution. Whenever the snow was fresh on the ground, the Shamish was directed to sit on a table. 4 volunteers then lifted the table and carried the Shamish through the town. Nevermore did the footsteps of the Shamish of Chelm tarnish the snow. Okay. Everyone in Chelm... You don't understand how hard it is for me right now. Everyone in Chelm had something to worry about. Once the rabbi of Chelm suggested to the village elders that worrying in Chelm had become a terrible burden. The elders discussed the problem for 7 days and 7 nights. Finally, they decided to appoint one person to do all the worrying for Chelm. They offered the job to Mendel the baker, whose sponge cake tasted like sponge, and whose bread was most useful to Chelm's fishermen as bait for pike. Mendel was impressed. "All worrying for Chelm, and for this you pay me?" The elders nodded. Mendel said, "It won't work. If you pay me to worry, I'll have nothing to worry about." Okay. The rabbi's wisdom. The rabbi of Chelm was well versed in his chosen profession, which was to say that he had answers for the many thought-provoking questions that Chelmers asked. When the rabbi was asked, which is more important, the sun or the moon, he never hesitated, but replied, "The moon, of course. The sun shines in the day when we have plenty of light anyway, but the moon shines at night when we desperately need its light." "Rabbi," a Chelmer asked, "does Chelm have a future?" The rabbi responded, "Not to worry, my child. Chelm definitely has a future. We can expect it any day now." "Rabbi," another Chelmer asked, "why is the ocean salty?" The rabbi shook his head. "Just think," he said, "isn't the ocean filled with herring?" Okay, that was actually the first Chelm story I ever encountered back when I was in the 4th grade. It was my first year in Connecticut. First year in Connecticut. I'd moved from Maryland, actually 2 months previously. New school year in a new state after about, 3 days. Fun. Okay, predicting the weather. 2 of Chelm town elders went for a walk. Yankel the cobbler carried an umbrella. Velvel the butcher took his only walking stick. When it began to rain, Velvel said, "Yankel, open your umbrella, and we will walk close beside one another, so neither of us will get wet." Yankel said, "Opening my umbrella will do nothing to protect either of us." Velvel asked, "Why not?" Yankel answered, "My umbrella has more holes than the street has puzzle." Velvel asked, "If so, why did you carry it?" Yankel replied, I did not expect it to rain." Okay, so very interesting. I don't think I laughed at all. Well, it's very interesting because I think concerning the overall content, I think the first story was actually very much something that I laughed at, and only maybe, well, obviously when I see this video again, I'll manage to judge myself. But I think concerning not laughing, I think I did considerably well. If you have any more collections of home stories on the web that you think I should manage to do, or any other don't laugh challenges that you think would be significantly helpful for me, I obviously prefer humor like this rather than just simply barrage of internet memes. That would certainly be to some degree easier for me to not laugh at in many regards, or would it? Okay, so time to go to the post-production. There will be another challenge. I don't know exactly what it will be, but until then, this is Jared letting you know that sometimes you just simply need humor in your life. Have a good one, and see you next time.